Hello, welcome back to another edition of Lovin Sheila Shorts, number 6. I'm really excited that we're doing this because it helps me to get information out to you as we experience it. And as you know, Lovin Sheila is a journey, an evolving journey, a learning journey. And it started, look, we've come the whole spectrum during this last year. We've come through a lot of things, relationships and separation and divorce and finding ourselves in the process, and some hurt, some pain, some joy, a lot of different things, I must say. And one of the things I'll speak about is divorce. Obviously, is very difficult. It's very challenging, heartbreaking, and it's very grievous. Grievous, however you say it. A lot of grief involved in it. And, you never know when you're going to experience it. You never know when it's really going to hit you hard. Um, and when you think that you've healed, oftentimes you find different areas where you've been pricked, and emotions that you didn't know have come up. And, I have one fortunate thing about me is I've gone through a lot of therapy over the last couple of years. And so I've been able to walk through it. And as I experience life, and it feels so good and different things, and it feels like, okay, we're moving in the right direction, as I certainly know that I am. At the same time, there are moments where I am pricked by what we now know to be some trauma. The body remembers, I guess the nervous system remembers the different things that affected you adversely. And it can immediately take you back to where you were years ago. And so I can't express enough the need for constant movement, constant evaluation, constantly looking at yourself and evaluating your situation, your circumstances, and working through the trauma, because it will come to you at unexpected times and it can take you to a whole different place. And so it's important that you have a support system to help guide you through it, to help you get through it, to kind of show you the way and to help you work out your own feelings, because there are a lot of feelings that come up, and sometimes we don't know where they come from. And we learn like different attachment styles. We learn what survival is. We learn, someone said to me once a few months ago, you've been in survival mode. And I'll be frank, I was like, no, because I did not know exactly what that meant. And I think the reason I didn't know what it meant is because that's how I lived. I was in a survival mode, making sure I did everything to try and keep my life, copacetic and smooth, and make sure everyone was getting along and all that kind of stuff. So I wasn't really mindful of myself. I was mindful of everything around me that kept everything the way it needed to be. And so now looking back, I'm able to look back and say, oh, I understand what survival mode was and I get it. And I'm doing my best not to operate in that at this time. And in doing so, you have to be mindful of different situations. You have to be mindful of your triggers, trauma. It's all coming to me, and it's becoming so it's so clear to me, illuminated to me, that there are certain things that take me back to a certain period in my life, or different times, or different traumas, or different situations. And so my message today is just make sure that I always talk about emotional support, because as I was going through things, that's what therapy taught me, is that I needed the emotional support. And oftentimes I didn't get it. And that's what left me in survival mode. And so what I want to leave you all with is make sure that you have a support system, loved ones, therapists, pastors, whatnot, whatever it is, a support system to help get you through it. Even if it's just someone to talk to, a good friend, so you can evaluate where you are and discuss different things and little nuances about your life. It's imperative that we do that if we're going to evolve, if we're going to grow. One thing my therapist and I talked about this week, actually, I was Then I had a great week, and then I started to evaluate some of my behaviors, and some of them were not, in my opinion, healthy. And I was like, I got frustrated with myself. It's like, when does it stop? And it's so simple. It sounds so simple, but sometimes we need to hear the most simple things. And she said, it does get better. And it was refreshing to me to know it does get better. Yes, I have to go through this. I have to feel it. I have to know where the potholes are. And maybe I might fall in a pothole, but maybe falling is what's going to allow me to get up and not just wipe myself off, but get healing from that wound so I can go forward and get wounded from those defense mechanisms that I've developed over a period of time. They don't disappear immediately. It's a period of time. It's a process. And so that's what we need to remember. It's a process. You might be grieving over a loss of a loved one, a loss of a relationship, a divorce, whatnot. Remember, it's a process. And I'm a type of person, I don't enjoy processes. I always want to get to the good part. Give me the good part. I'm here for it. But now, as I mature, as I grow, as I evolve, I realize I have to go through the process to get to the good part. I have to heal the wounds, deal with the scars, deal with all of it so I can get to where I'm trying to go. And I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure this is something that is true for all of us. So I just want to share that with you. Remember, have your support system. It's necessary. Do what you need to do. Everyone doesn't have a therapist, but sometimes you may just have a good friend, a family member that you can talk to. But deal with your stuff. Let's just deal with our stuff. All those things that come up that I see a lot of things in me that I don't appreciate, but just things that I have to work through. No one can do it for me, but folks can be a support system as I try to deal with all the things that come up in my life. And I pray that you all have the same. So that's what I'll leave you with for today. Get your support system. Continue to do the work. Don't give up. Trust that it's a process. It's a journey, and we're all in this, together. I'll see you on the next episode of Lovin' Sheila.